Well, hello, everybody. This is Mac, and we're going to do rearranging formulas. This has a lot to do with what we did in solving equation, mainly because we're moving things from the left to the right of the equal sign, and we're just basically on this, we're just rearranging the furniture. Now, before we start, if you look down here, if you just kind of happened upon this, if you go to maxtutorials.com, you're going to find a whole bunch of videos that have to do a lot with algebra. So if you need help on anything else, please go there and see that. And then also on this video, if you could do the like and subscribe thing, it would really help me out, and I really appreciate it. So let's go on this. This is version A, so I'll go a little bit slower. There will be a version B and C where I'll keep going for more practice. So now on this one, if you notice, it says A equals LW, and I want to solve for L. When it says solve for L, it means L has to be by itself. So when I look at the formula, the L and the W are next to each other. That means multiplication. Now remember, if we're going to flip to the other side of the equal sign, we want to do the opposite. So I want to get rid of the W, so L is by itself. So if I divide each side by W, boom, they die, and I'm left with L equals A over W, and that's it. Once you get to the place where what you're solving for is by itself, you finish the problem. Okay, let's go on to number 3. It looks like they should have put some space in here, so I apologize that they didn't. But anyways, we're going to solve for W. So that means I want my W all by itself. Now, this one's a little weird because there's a plus sign and there's multiplication. So what do? Well, when we are solving, we need to get the term by itself. So here's a term, here's a term, here's a term. So this is the term I need to get all by himself. So I want to move the 2L. Well, the 2L is being added to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract it. Once I do that, I'm going to write a capital L just because it looks like a 1 if I don't. Okay, and then if I do this, minus 2L, how would that look when I write that? Well, they're going to go away, and I'm going to be left with a P minus 2L equals, and they're gone now, so it's 2W. It's kind of like backwards PEMDAS. You start with the addition subtraction. Now I have nothing to add or subtract, but I have that 2 in front of the W. That means 2 times W, so I'm just going to divide. Now you may ask yourself, well, that's cool, but which one do I divide by on this side? The answer is you divide all of it. Okay, and so now my W is by itself. What does W equal? All of that, and that is your answer. Looks like okay, so we're going odds down here. That's fine. C equals 2 pi r, and we're going to solve for r. So I want r by itself. Well, 2 and the pi are timesing it, so we just want to divide by it. So I'm going to divide by 2 pi. And once I do that, and these cancel out, I'm left with r. If you don't mind, I'm going to write it on the left. I'm going to get c over 2 pi. And that's all we're doing. Okay, we're just trying to get a letter by itself. How about y equals mx plus b? We're going to learn that later. That's a linear equation. We're going to solve that for m. Okay, well, I have a term right here and a term right here. I need this term to be all by himself, and right now he's not. So it's the b that's in the way. So I'm going to subtract b from both sides. Well, what's y minus b? I can't do that. Of course you can't. So that's why you're just going to write them next to each other. And I'm left with an m and an x. Now, I want my m to be by itself, so who needs to go? It's the x. It's being timed, so I'm just going to divide by each. Boom, boom, they die. M equals y minus b over x. And that's how we rearrange a formula. Let's do this next one. A equals 1/2 BH. Uh-oh, a fraction. Okay, those are a little bit scary, I know. Why don't we do this? It's 1/2, and what did we learn when we were solving equations? If you have a denominator, all we have to do is we have to just multiply by the denominator and we can get rid of it. So on this one, if I multiply by 2, these 2's are going to cancel out. That's fine, you're allowed to do it, but then you got to do it to the other side. So it's going to look like this. 2a equals b and h. Okay, that's how you get rid of a denominator. I want h by himself, so I'm going to divide each side by b. Boom. H equals 2a over b. Okay, let me solve that. There we go. Sorry, a little slippery on this little iPad. Okay, v equals u plus at. Solve for a. Okay, so I want a by itself. I have an extra term here that I don't want here, so I'm going to move him by subtracting him. Do that first. Oh, man, I've got a v and a u, and I have bad penmanship. How am I going to do this? All right, here we go. Don't judge me. I have a v minus a u. Oh, that's ugly. Okay, and that's going to equal a t. Okay, and I want t to be by itself, so I just divide by a. Now, here's where people make a mistake. Do you do the V or do you do the U? The answer is you do everything. Okay. So everything is on the left being divided by A is what you want. I'm going to get T equals V minus U divided by A. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. Cool. Number 13, we're going to solve for B, and it's 3A plus 2B. So again, this term needs to be by himself. So I need to move the 3A term. I'm going to do that by subtracting it first. That is step number one. How do you subtract a T and an A? Well, we're just going to go T minus 3A. Okay, that had some humor if you've ever seen Chorus Line. And then that's going to equal to B. Okay, and I want to solve for B. So what we're going to do, oops, hit a wrong button there. We're going to divide by what? What do I have to divide by to keep the B by itself? The answer is the 2. And so if I go 2 here, boom, boom, I divide everything by it, and I'm going to get T minus 3A over 2 equals B. Boom. An entire column was done. Let me go back up here and squeeze up here and make this big. Now let's go ahead and do the second column. D equals RT for T. Okay, T needs to be by himself, so I'm just going to divide by R. It's really that simple. And then T equals D over R. You guys know what that means? Distance equals rate over time. You'll learn that in some other thing. Okay, this, put a line there. Okay, now I'm going to solve for h. Volume equals length times width times height. Solve for height. Well, the L and the W are multiplying by the h, so we're going to divide. Remember, whenever we need to rearrange the furniture, move things to the other side of the equal sign, we just do the opposite. They're going to cancel out, and I get V over LW equals h. Okay? Number 6, and if I'm going too fast for you, you know how to slow me down. But what would be really great is after you go through a couple, try doing some of these problems on your own. And then if you get a wrong answer, go back and see how I did this. Now I'm going to solve by T. I equals PRT. That's interest equals principal times rate times time. Okay, and we'll do these later on in some other chapters. Right now, we're just rearranging them. So I need the T by itself. It's being multiplied by P and R. So we're just going to divide by P and R. And once I do that, boom, boom, they die, they die. And my T is going to equal I over PR. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's keep going on. Number 7. Okay, we're going to do F equals ma. You know what that is? That's a physics one. Force equals mass times acceleration. You don't need to know that now. But anyways, we're going to solve for A. Well, A is being multiplied by M, so let's just divide by M. Boom. A equals F over M. All right. Let's go on to number 10 here. So we're going to solve for A, but now look at this. There's a 2 on the bottom. We don't like denominators. They freak us out a little bit. So now on this, because it's an entire thing divided by 2, it's only one term. It's not 2 terms. But there's a plus sign. You said that that's a difference of a term. Well, it normally is. But if you notice, it's all in a numerator. So since it's all just one fraction, it's one term. When it's one term, that's when you divide. So I'm going to divide each of these sides by 2. I'm going to get 2k equals, they cancel out, a plus b. I want to solve for a. Well, what's the b doing to the a? It's adding, so I'm going to subtract. So my answer is 2k minus b equals a. Boom, done. Let's go on to number 12. E equals mc squared. Ooh, that's a famous one. Oh man, we haven't even talked about square roots yet. Well, you're going to have to just trust me on this one, okay? So on this one, actually, we don't even have to do a square root on this one. It's kind of cool. The c squared is multiplying the m. So all I need to do is divide by the c squared. They cancel out, and what does my m equal? E over c squared. Boom, that's all you have to do. And the last one, Q equals PR minus S for R. So I want my R by itself. So if you notice, I have a term here and I have a term here. I can't divide until the term is by itself. So I need to get rid of this negative S. Well, minus S, what's the opposite? Plus S, and then you go plus S on the other side. I apologize if my S's look like 5s. I'm doing better. I'm trying to improve in that area. Okay, equals PR. Now I want R by itself. Now you divide by the P. Okay, oop, sorry, boom, that's a minus. There we go. Sorry, that should be a plus. And then I'm going to divide each side by my P. And then I'm going to get R equals Q plus S over P. Okay? And that, my friends, is the end of version A. Okay, I hope that helped you out. If anything was weird or you feel like you need a little more work on that, there is a version B and there is a version C. If you feel really good about this and it's like, hey, I got this, that's cool. Go on to the next section and let's keep on moving. And remember, if you go to this Max Tutorials, you'll find even more math there. Okay, notice that all my problems have a process to it. You can see the lines, the subtraction signs. I wrote all the work, I talked it all out. You're not bad at math. If you're struggling, you're not bad at math. You just don't have a process. And if you get a process and you stay consistent, everybody can do math really, really well. Good job. Keep up the good work, and I'll see you on the next one.